We do have breaking news right now on a shooting that just happened at East High School. We now know there are 2 adult victims with likely non-life-threatening injuries.
What we know right now at this time is that Denver police say those 2 adult victims have been taken to area hospitals. It is believed that the suspect is no longer on scene. We're working to get clarification of exactly what that means. We are told that investigators are working at this time to gather additional info. Now, this is a map that you're seeing of East High School and the surrounding area.
Again, by them saying the suspect is no longer on scene, we do not know what that means. Again, we're working to get some more information as investigators are still there. We have several crews that are en route now working to get some more information. Of course, this is coming on the 2-year anniversary on the heels of the Boulder King super shooting.
Yeah, and this is also coming only weeks after a student was shot outside of East High School. Luis Garcia. Students had a march to the Capitol from East High School demanding for action to be taken with gun legislation.
Right. So around 10 o'clock this morning, that's when DPS first tweeted that East High School was placed in lockdown due to police activity. Then at 10:06 this morning, that's when Denver Police Department said that they were responding to a shooting at East High School. Unknown number of victims at that time. Again, we have just learned from Denver Police that 2 adult victims have been located and transported to area hospitals, and it looks like likely non-life-threatening injuries.
Now, what they are telling the public at this time is to expect a large police presence in that area as they work to get more information in this investigation. Again, limited information at this time. They do tell us that 2 adults were taken to area hospitals, likely with non-life-threatening injuries. That's according to DPD. They do believe that the suspect no longer on scene. We are also working to gather more information. We have several crews headed to the scene right now. We'll be checking in with them as soon as we can.
We are watching the Denver Police Department's thread right now, and I know a lot of parents are reaching out wanting to know some more information. Of course, this can be very scary for parents as well watching, but again, they're just saying, please give us space as there is still a large police presence, and they're trying to get as much information as they can.
And you have to remember the context of this specific area, this school. They have already faced a shooting only several weeks ago, sadly losing a student, Luis Garcia, really impacting a lot of the student body there and the community as a whole. This is video from that shooting several weeks ago. Again, it was a student, Luis Garcia. He was on the soccer team there, loved by a lot of his classmates and his friends, and it really sparked a big conversation from students. Again, they had a walkout not too long ago from East High School to the state capitol where they were demanding that some kind of action be taken regarding gun legislation and restricting gun control.
Again, if you're just now tuning in, we are working on some breaking news right now out of East High School. We know that there was a shooting there this morning. We are unsure right now if it happened inside the school or outside of the school, but we do know that there are 2 adult victims. They were taken to area hospitals with likely non-life-threatening injuries. And again, the police are saying that that the suspect is no longer on scene, but we are not sure what that means.
Yeah, again, we have several crews also headed to the scene too, so we are following along with the information that Denver Police putting out, that Denver Public Schools is putting out, and of course, once our reporters get out to the scene, we're going to get more. Actually, I've just been told that we do have our own Luis De Leon, who is out there near East High School at this time. Luis, what can you tell us?
Yeah, guys, we just got here just a few minutes ago. It is still obviously a very active scene. This is about as close as we can get right now, just off of Colfax here. We want to be very respectful of the police as they work this investigation right now. There's a handful of students here in the lawn next to us as well. Some of them aren't really sure what's going on. We are still working to confirm a lot of information, but you can see the police presence here. I've seen a couple of officers going in and out of the school. For the most part out here, the environment has been relatively calm. I've actually already seen a few fire trucks as well leave the area here. Saw 1 or 2 maybe people walking away a bit distraught from this scene, but like I said, we are still trying to learn some more information. We're still working to confirm a lot more information from police at this time, and so investigation's ongoing, and we're going to bring you more updates as we get them.
Luis, you had also covered the shooting that we were mentioning from several weeks ago just outside of East High School when sadly the community there lost Luis Garcia, a student there and a beloved member of the soccer team. This has to be something that is really weighing heavy, specifically on the students there at East High School and the parents as well.
Well, in the few minutes that I've been here, I was able to at least go up to a few of the students, and the first thing that I asked them right away is, are you okay? Are you feeling okay right now? A lot of them just don't really know what's going on. Some of them seem more calm because, as you can imagine, the situation brings a lot of emotions out of you, and usually you have to process them first. But I think it's been relatively calm. We have another fire truck passing by here as well right now. Still working to learn a lot of information, but yes, as you mentioned there, a lot of emotions still weighing heavy, as I've seen a couple people now walking away, looking rather distraught from this.
And Luis, you were kind of mentioning how things have calmed down a little bit out there, and we saw that with the fire truck that just went by. Sometimes when we go to these scenes, it's still very active, and you know, law enforcement, first responders are running back and forth. This seems like it's calmed down a lot.
At least a little bit for now. We have at least one officer here barricading an area and another one just a block down from us here. And again, just to give you a lay of the land, this is just off Colfax. A Chipotle is right across the street. This is right next to the rec center, as many know. You can still see law enforcement kind of moving around here and everything. But again, we want to keep our distance and continue to sort of respect their investigation, obviously, as this is still a very active scene. So.
Of course. Well, Luis, we appreciate you being out there, and we're going to check back in with you once you learn more information. Thank you very much. We did get an update from East High School. At this time, we're told that all students are in their third period classrooms. That is where they are holding them until further notice as this investigation continues.
This is just so hard, for the community, because we were talking about Luis Garcia. That happened just a few weeks ago. On top of it, again, this is coming on the heels of the 2-year anniversary of the Boulder King Super shooting. Darius Johnson, our reporter, was on that all morning long, and so I know so many people are thinking, how is this happening? Why again?
Right, exactly. And we were talking about how much this impacts the community there at East High School. When you talk about a story like this really impacts Colorado as a whole, because we have seen this happen time and time again here. Yeah.
So again, Luis is out there, Luis De Leon. He's working to get some more information. We have several other crews that are out there as well. Again, we're going to take another live pic there of East High School this morning as this is happening. You can see that there is still a large police presence. There's crime scene tape that's up right now. Again, investigators are saying give them space. They're trying to figure out exactly what happened. They did tweet out earlier this morning that the suspect is no longer on scene. What that means, whether that suspect left the scene or that suspect's been arrested, we don't know yet. But we do know that, again, that this is 2 adult victims transported to the hospital with what it appears like non-life-threatening injuries.
And let's take a moment to be transparent here as well about what we know. We are continuing to ask police if this happened in the school or near the school. That, of course, is information that a lot of people want to know, because that is a very crucial detail. We have not gotten a direct answer to that. Denver police right now at this time turning our attention back toward their Twitter account, where they are posting the latest updates. Again, at this time, all we know, those 2 adults likely with non-life-threatening injuries that have been taken to the area, and they said you can expect a large police presence around East High School as their investigation continues. You can tell exactly just how big of a presence we are talking right here. This is a shot from Sky 9 right now over the school. Yeah, there's an ambulance that's posted right up out front of the school, not going anywhere right now, but you can see just the amount of response that came out. Again, the first tweet that we saw that came out was from DPS around 10:01 this morning, just saying that East had been placed into lockdown due to police activity. And then a few minutes later, that's when DPD said that they were responding to that shooting at East High School. And you can see the response is quite massive. There are still a lot of first responders there on scene. Again, an ambulance there. We just saw a fire truck that looked like it was leaving the scene, or at least moving positions, when we were talking to Luis De Leon. Yeah, and of course, again, we have several crews along with Luis that are headed out to the scene right now. Luis already there, and once we get more information, we'll be sure to bring that to you as that comes in. We're working with really limited information at this time, but we know this is certainly really scary and really traumatizing, especially given the fact that this specific community of East High School went through a very similar situation just a few weeks ago when they lost Luis Garcia, a student there at the high school on the soccer team. As students continue to say, and we heard from his brother as well, he was just so loved.
Yeah, this is why we decided to come on air at the time that we did, because we did have very limited information, but we know that when information starts to go out there about a shooting at a school, it's very nerve-wracking, especially for our community. We were just talking about the shooting this morning, the 2-year anniversary at Boulder King Supers, and so we wanted to get you the information as soon as we got it. Again, very preliminary information. We don't know much about a suspect except for that suspect's not on scene anymore, but investigators are there. They're working to get some more information. And again, we do know that this involves 2 adults with non-life-threatening injuries that were already transported to the hospital.
We want to go over the information again for anybody now who might just be tuning in. We are following some breaking news at East High School. Denver police say that 2 adults, likely with non-life-threatening injuries, have been taken to area hospitals. They say they believe the suspect no longer on scene. Again, we are trying to confirm exactly what that means, where they might be, if they know the whereabouts of this suspect. Investigators say they are working to develop some additional information at this time, but while they continue this investigation, there is going to be a large police presence. This is a live look from Sky 9 right there. You see they're getting ready to put up some more crime scene tape to block off the area, which does let you know they are still actively working out there.
Denver police just tweeted out 1 minute ago that they are setting up a media staging area right now at Colfax, and they're saying that the PIOs are en route, which is the public information officers that are going to be heading there to the media staging area, hopefully to give us a little bit more information about when these calls came in, what type of calls they were, and exactly, you know, the information that they know. Again, this only happened within like the last 30 or 40 minutes that we started getting information, and so everything's very preliminary right now.
I have also gotten a text from somebody who lives in that same area that they have received a shelter-in-place voicemail, that Denver police are now calling people who live in the area, telling them to shelter in place as well. This is from a person who lives within several blocks of the high school, so it's not just centered there. It's centered around the high school, but it's also impacting a lot of people within the area at this time too.
When you see that big Sky 9 shot and you look over the area, you can see that everything is still kind of at a standstill. No cars are moving around. That the first response of all of the emergency vehicles are staying put. Again, investigators, they're working on scene to figure out how this unfolded. Again, a lot of questions are about the suspect right now. How do they have someone in custody, or did this person just leave the scene? Very interesting that people in the area did get a shelter in place, so that might answer some questions down the road. But again, they're working to get some PIOs there, public information officers, where we can ask some questions just to see if there's any more information that they may know.
So people living in the area getting those shelter in place calls at this time. As far as the students go, we are told that they are being held in their 3rd period classes until further notice. We are not sure how long that might be. That is the information that has come down from DPS at this time. Of course, once we learn a little bit more about how they are handling all this, we will be sure to let you know. This is a live look from our Luis De Leon, who is live there at the scene, working to gather more information. Again, he is one of several crews that we have in that area working to get the latest information at this time.
And when we checked in with him just a few minutes ago, he was talking about how it's calmed down a little bit there at East High School. And here's another live look from Sky 9 again. As they're overhead, there's a lot of law enforcement on scene, investigators on scene. Again, we are working to get some more information. As Jordan was just saying, we have several crews en route. They're all going kind of to different locations, to, you know, the media staging area, and, you know, as close as they can get to the high school as well.
For everybody who's watching right now too, we know a big question that you have is if this happened inside or outside of the school. We are working to gather that information at this time. That is not something that police have said, but we know that is a crucial piece of that information. We, of course, will be sure to let you know once we learn that.
Yeah, I think some more information is starting to come into our control room right now, and they're going to pass that information along to us. We're trying to get another reporter. Again, we said that we've sent several crews right when we heard that this happened around 10 o'clock to go to East High School. We checked in with Luis, and now Courtney Yoon has just arrived on scene as well. Courtney, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, good morning, Corey and Jordan. We're here outside of the front of Denver East High School. As you can see here, there is a very large police presence, as you guys have been seeing from Sky 9. I just caught up with a few students who are walking back to school. They're a little rattled. They're a little scared. They're saying that they received a lot of emails from administration talking about a release plan for later on today at their school. They don't know a lot that has gone on. They did hear, like Denver police has confirmed already, that 2 adults were shot, hopefully with with non-life-threatening injuries here. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of police presence, especially after the death of Luis Garcia. Obviously a very scary situation here with people. A lot of media here as well, a lot of people starting to gather around the outside of the school here. And we're being told to stay outside this police tape here to stay safe. We have been told that the suspect fled the scene, so he is, or that person, we don't know if it's a male or a female, is not here on the scene or is gone at this point, and police are out looking for them. But we will be staying here on scene trying to gather more information as it comes to us from police.
Courtney, something we asked Luis De Leon, who is standing by right now waiting to get more information from Denver police, is what it's feeling like out there right now. Of course, you've also covered the shooting there that happened several weeks ago. You were also there covering whenever the students marched from East High School to the Capitol. What is the sense you are getting at this time?
Yeah, you know, there's only a few students out here right now that are just kind of wandering around. Honestly, it's a little calm. It's pretty calm. It's kind of eerie though. A little silent with seeing all these flashing lights and a lot of cop cars out here. It doesn't feel good being out here at all. But Jordan, to answer your question about what it feels like, eerily calm, I would say.
Courtney, just a moment ago when your photographer zoomed in quite a bit, it looked like maybe some parents had even arrived there, which again, they're saying, please don't do. But understandably, parents are worried, and it looked like some were kind of arriving there at the school.
Yes, we've seen some parents driving up to some of the parking lots here where they also have police meeting with parents over there. Not sure what they're telling them at this point, but I think a lot of the parents are just concerned whether this shooting happened inside the school or outside of the school, and they're worried about their kids. But yeah, we are seeing a little bit of parents, some adults starting to show up here.
And we're also getting some new information in at this time from Denver Public Schools. They have just tweeted out that they will be doing a controlled release once Denver police allow them to do so. They say that parents can pick up their children at 17th and Esplanade. Students who drove will be escorted to their cars in the parking lot and will be able to leave, and students who ride the bus will be held until their bus arrives. Again, this is the latest from DPS, just came down about a minute ago. They say they will be doing a controlled release once Denver police allows them to do that. They're telling parents that they can pick up their students at 17th and Esplanade. Students who drove will be escorted to their cars in the parking lot, and they will be allowed to leave, and students who ride the bus will be held there at the school until their bus arrives. Right now, we know that they are being held in their third period classrooms while this investigation continues. Again, a very large presence there from Denver police.
I can imagine this controlled release of students is going to take some time. Again, taking them to 17th and Esplanade, and then of course if they drove, they're going to escort them to each of their cars, so that may take a while. Again, Brianna as well, she went to Denver Health. We do know again that 2 adults were hurt in this and transported with likely non-life-threatening injuries. Again, public information officers are staging right now. Luis De Leon is heading that way to get some more information, hopefully from the PIO.
Yeah, and we have just gotten word from, again, another person who lives in that area. They have been told to shelter in place at this time. They're also telling us that police have shut down 17th and Fillmore, so they are continuing to block off the area surrounding East High School at this time while they continue their investigation. Again, students right now being held in their third period classrooms while police do that work. They do say they plan on doing a controlled release, but only once Denver police says it is safe for them to do so. They're telling parents that if you have a student at the school, you will be allowed to pick up your child at 17th and Esplanade. Students who drove will be allowed escorted to their cars in the school parking lot, and they will be allowed to leave. And then again, if your student rides the bus, they're going to be held there at the school until their bus arrives.